Hey guys, what's up? This is Dr. M and today's video is going to be about how to study for engineering exams. Now this might be a bit weird because I am from the biology field and I don't really know much about the engineering field, but one of my followers wanted me to make a video on how to study for engineering exams. Now, I would not say you should depend completely on my tips, but I think these tips will help. And I have talked to some of my engineering friends, and I did do a little bit of research, and I'll link those websites down in the description. You can check them out. But I have compiled a few tips for you guys to do decently well in engineering exams. So now the first thing that I would say is to eliminate distractions. So this is what I've been telling you all the time, and this is much more important when you're studying something technical like engineering or medicine, because these things need your focus. You need to be completely into the subject matter, otherwise I don't think you'll be able to understand any of it, and you'll not be able to recall it or remember it and write it in the exam. Now the next thing is to create a schedule, but I don't think it works for everybody. If it works for you, it's good. If it does not work for you, I think you should have a strategy that maybe you'll study for 25 minutes and then take a break, and in that break you do nothing that is related to studying. So you completely refresh your mind and then go back and study for another 25 minutes. But because you are studying engineering and this is a technical subject, maybe you are doing your bachelor's or master's, so I don't think 25 minutes at a stretch would be enough for you guys. Maybe an hour, but I would not say more than an hour or an hour and a half at one stretch, because your brain needs some refreshment, and maybe because your exams are approaching, you might be stressed out, and that's why you need to stay calm, which is my third point, that you should not stress out. Okay, if you stress out, you will mess things up. Now the fourth thing I would say is you need to refer question papers. If you are giving university exams, or if you are giving board exams, there is a trend that mostly maybe 50-60% or 30% or 40, I don't know how much, but people like to ask previously asked questions, because that is less work for question setters, and I think that is a trend everywhere. So I would suggest you, if it is a high time, then rather than just going through your notes, class notes or subject books, I would say you should refer question papers, past previously asked question papers, and if you have seniors at your university, you can ask them about what a particular professor likes to ask in his exams. So I guess that would help a lot. And research has also shown that those people who practice questions do well in exams. So and that's true, because you cannot go into an exam and get a completely new question that you had never heard about, never seen, or never practiced, and make it right at one shot. Okay, it will take some time for you to deduct the answer, and I would say it is not worth it, because exams have a very tight time. So now fourth problem for engineering students is, because you are studying something that has very limited concept, I would say, comparing to biology, because in biology what we do is we have a lot of medical terms and a lot of concepts related to each medical terms. So and we have different things related to those things. I don't think you'd want to hear about. But in engineering, what my friends have told me and what my teachers have told me during my pre-med years, and what my engineering friends told me, was that there are not a lot of concepts and not a lot of technical terms in engineering. It is the same F equals to MA in engineering that you studied in class 8 or 9 or 10, but the only thing is that you are applying it into different complex scenarios. So I would suggest you guys, studying engineering is like studying mathematics, and you have to study mathematics in engineering too. So I think you should solve more problems. This will build a good concept in your mind, and I think it will boost your confidence up. And if you have exams like my friend in 3 days, I think this is the only way you can do it. You need to solve more problems. You need to see as much as questions as possible. Okay, now from what my friends have told me, they tell me that civil engineering or engineering is about diagrams also, and that is the same in medicine also. We need to study anatomy, and anatomy is full of diagrams. So I also would suggest that you need to study from the diagrams. Make a diagram. Maybe I heard that you make block diagrams and schematic diagrams, or any diagrams associated with the theory answer. And I think if you do these things, you could do well in exams. And I'm sure that you know what are the high yield concepts and what are the low yield concepts. Okay, so in every subject there are those few concepts that are very important and those few concepts that are not that much importance in terms of an exam perspective. So maybe those things are not asked in your exam. So I would say you skip those concepts now, but don't skip a chapter as a whole thinking that it is not important, because I don't think that is how it works. Okay, inside a chapter maybe there are a few topics that are not that important for your level, or not important, as I said, in the perspective of an exam. But as I told you already, you should not skip the whole chapter thinking that it is low yield. Now I would say studying mathematics can be quite stressful, or studying engineering can be quite stressful, but it's better to fail during practice than failing in exams. So don't worry about failing. Don't stress out about not knowing the answers or not knowing. You can ask your friends, you can ask your professors. You